Oh my goodness, can you believe it? We are on day 4 of our Movement to Mastery Classroom Fitness Challenge. I hope you are just loving the ideas that you are getting this week, and I hope you're having fun with this. Remember, if you are in our community, you received a sheet from me. Log your movement minutes. Any classroom who hits 10 movement minutes is going to receive or they're going to earn that fitness celebration party. So that is already getting recorded. We'll get it to your inbox. Just log your minutes. We'll keep track of it on our end and just have fun this week. So we have done so much with movement. Today, we're going to be focusing on movement in the classroom to build connections, right? We have set the tone. We've focused on engaging our students through movement. Yesterday, we did emotional regulation. So today's theme is all about building connections, okay? And this isn't just connections between students, but it's between you and your students, and even between your students and their subconscious mind. So we're going to kind of talk about those IPPIE Kids, which if you're in the community, you have the resources, you have the videos with the IPPIE Kids. So we're going to talk about how we can incorporate all of these pieces right inside of our Movement to Mastery Fitness Challenge. So I think the key here is, and if you're in education, you know this. You hear over and over again, you need to build relationships, focus on the relationship, build the relationships, because relationships truly are the foundation of a thriving classroom, right? When the students know that you care for them, you are going to grow leaps and bounds within your community. The fine line is building the relationships, but still being their teacher and not being their friend, okay? So be mindful of that. You want to focus more on like a coach to athlete relationship. You are the coach, they are the athletes, okay? So think of it like that. But let's dive into why movement works to strengthen relationships. You might not really necessarily consider all these thoughts, but it definitely breaks down barriers, right? When you're doing this, you're showing your students a whole new side to you, and they love seeing it. You may feel silly doing this, but one, it's great for you yourself personally. Two, your energy is getting put towards your students, so they're having that connection with you as opposed to a screen, right? They're building the connection with you rather than like a go noodle. So keep that in mind. The physical activity is literally promoting the camaraderie, and everyone is feeling and acting like a team. The second reason we love using movement to help build connections is because it encourages collaboration, right? Many movements may require cooperation or simply having them do some problem-solving skills to get the movement done. If they can't stand on one foot, their brain has to logically tell them, oh, we need to hold on to something safely, right, to make this happen. This one is probably my favorite, and if you've been around and have followed me for a while, then you know that I'm a firm believer in the subconscious mind. So the movement can actually help to activate the subconscious part of the mind. When students engage in like these repetitive and these rhythmic movements, it will literally help to rewire their subconscious minds, and it will help to promote trust and positivity within them, okay? This is where your IPPIE Kids are a great tool to utilize to help build that subconscious mind. And watch those videos. They give you all kinds of ideas of how to use the IPPIE Kids in the classrooms, particularly for K-3 teachers. And beyond that, you can have the students act out the different scenarios from the behavior scenario of the day cards and really help use the IPPIE Kids, incorporate it with the student behavior scenario of the day cards, and use all kinds of movement to get this done. So know that. Builds empathy. Okay, this is tip number 4. Movement can be playful and expressive, and helping kids to appreciate this can really bring about these different perspectives. Some students may be really good at the stretching movements, and some students might do better with the fast, high energy movements. So they can learn from each other and, kind of encourage each other along the way to build that empathy. So let's get into today's movement activity. Today's is called the connection circle. If you have not done this, you will like this one. This is a fun one to do during morning meeting especially. You are going to have your students form a circle, okay? So you kind of have to use your imagination, but you're going to have your students form a circle, and then one student is going to be the student leader. That student's going to go in the middle of the circle, and they will literally make eye contact. They don't have to say anything. They can just make eye contact and they can do some kind of movement. And then they'll go to the next student and they'll just go around the circle doing the movement, okay? If they're doing this one, it kind of sounds like a thunderstorm. I usually have them keep it going. Like once I make eye contact with you, you keep it going until everybody in the circle is doing the movement at the same time. Then what you can do is you can have the student leader either pick somebody or choose another student, rotate this 2 or 3 times. This is a great one to do if your students have been seated for a while. It gets them up, gets them moving. They're still structured, right? So there's still some structure. We're not like letting them be loosey-goosey. And they're going to have fun, okay? You're probably going to have them laughing because they're making eye contact, and that can sometimes be uncomfortable, but such a great skill to have, okay? So you could do this as long as you want. Once you feel like they're kind of like, okay, they're over this, then you're going to cut it, and then you could do some simple stretchings. But this one is so great because the leader is thinking of the movement on their own. They can do any movement they want as long as it's safe and appropriate for the classroom. And it's also going to reinforce the idea that every student is a part of our community because we're all doing this together. So it's really, really a fun one. And then how I would end it is I would just invite the student leader at the time, okay, why don't you do some stretching activities? Let's show us how we can stretch our bodies. And it could simply be arms up over the head again, arms down, out wide, wrap it up like a hug, down for your toes, back up, twist left, twist right, and you could do that cycle again. Again, these are only 2 to 3 minute movement breaks, but they're so powerful for your classroom. So, so powerful. Okay, so the next thing we like to do is the visualization, right? So this one is the connection visualization where they have to use their imagination. This is a great one to do when you need a nice calming activity. You want to start by simply asking your students to close their eyes and imagine a butterfly. And this butterfly, it's the most beautiful butterfly you have ever seen, and it lands right on your shoulder. And then you're going to tell them, start taking some deep breaths in and then exhale. You don't really want to count this one. Just let them do it naturally on their own. Deep breath in, deep breath out. But then you're going to tell them that this butterfly that's on their shoulder is a symbol of being calm, of being focused, and of spreading kindness in our classroom. And this works so well with little ones because their imaginations are so vivid. But then what you're going to do after they've had a couple breaths, deep breath in, deep breath out. You don't have to count or anything. Just let them breathe naturally. And then invite them to open their eyes after a minute or 2. And then you want them to look around the room. And then you want them to silently send a kind thought to 2 classmates. Don't tell me who it is. Just in your heart and in your mind right now. Send them a kind thought. This is really going to, again, help them focus on fostering that respect and that kindness in your classroom. So, so simple. So, so simple. Okay. So today's was pretty short and sweet, which is a-okay. You have those IPPIE Kids to incorporate is part of forming connections and forming the subconscious mind. Please utilize them. If nothing else, introduce each IPPIE Kid and print off the pictures and have your students simply color the pictures and make a little booklet out of them. Because the lessons that each one of those teach, that was like its own professional development. But the lessons that each one of those teach literally will go hand in hand with bringing this piece into your classroom, okay? We know that building connections, it bridges people together, right? It brings people together. It's going to help our students to learn and to work together and to see the value in every single one of their classmates. And if we can do this with these young students in these early years, I'm telling you, it's hard to believe, but the habits we create in our students in kindergarten, first, second, third grade are the habits they carry with them well into junior high and high school. So if we can get them to understand their significance and understand the power that they carry with their words and their actions, we are doing some amazing things with making the world a better place, okay? Your classroom will truly become a community. Okay, so here is your call to action for today. Of course, we want you to try to do the connection circle and try to do the visualization with the butterfly, okay? Then we want you to let us know how it goes. Hopefully you're having so much fun with this. Hopefully you are seeing more smiles on your students' faces. Hopefully you're building that atmosphere of teamwork in your classroom. Tomorrow, we are going to wrap up this week and we're going to focus on movement for growth, where we're going to talk about inspiring persistence and goal setting through movement. Believe it or not, we can do this. It's going to be fun, I promise. You're doing amazing work. Thank you for just being here and being a part of this. This is so fun for me. I hope you're having as much fun. If you need me, reach out to me. If you have classroom management questions, pick my brain. I am at your service this week for free. Any classroom management you want, any lesson plan you want me to look at and implement movement ideas and activities into, I am more than happy to do so. If you are having classroom management issues or student behavior issues, the two go hand in hand. We need to have the management in place to get the behavior. They have to go hand in hand. The behavior and the learning, they go together. We can't treat them separately, okay? We're going to focus on behavior, learning, and movement and getting all three of these flowing together. But if you need anything from me, now is your week, now is your time. Ask away. If you're in the community, you have the link. Send me whatever questions you have on that Google form. Thank you again so much for being here. Today, I'm going to put a guided student meditation into the Google Classroom. It will happen sometime before dinner time. So take this, run with this, have fun, and we will see you tomorrow where we are going to, again, go through movement for growth, focusing on goal setting and persistence through movement. All right, we will see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.